like to bring up Brother David Paul, who is the mayor candidate for the city of Lancaster. Please lend your mind over to
Good morning, everyone. I'm David Paul, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Brother Ansar Mohammed, for having this event, and I look forward to getting across what I'm about. You know, there are some old revolutionaries in this room. I'm probably the oldest. When I was 16 years old, I sold buttons for the Students for Democratic Society in Chicago to ride a bus to Washington, D.C. to protest the war. And there is where I learned that the Capitol Hill riot police ride horses and swing 5-foot sticks that can break your brain. And that's why I advocate peaceful means. We have passion and we have problems, but the only way we're going to solve any of these things is with unity and with peaceful, nonviolent unity. That's my position. I am running for mayor, and I found myself in a very unusual position. I did not expect to be the only one running against Rex. I thought there would be other people, and the vote would be split like it usually is between 8 different candidates, and Rex would remain in power. So I'm your sole standard bearer for hope and change in this election. And I want you all to know that I love people. You'll see on my lapel here my 50th anniversary Vietnam-era veteran pin. Shortly after I was protesting the war, I joined the Army. And you know, when we used to march and say, "Right on, take Saigon, victory to the Viet Cong," what that meant to me was that we would leave the Vietnamese people to their own fate and get the heck out of there. Not that we would disrespect American fighting soldiers who came from that war and were spit on. That's a disgrace. These men were doing what they thought was the right thing to do, and we did not welcome them home. It's taken 50 years to get to that point. And I thank anyone who will recognize that these men and women who served are our heroes. Now, justice. I understand there are problems, and it takes a political network of change. You know, I just finished rewatching this documentary about Richard Wolff. He's an economist who talks about the difference between capitalism, socialism, communism, and how capitalism has really failed us. I agree with that. There are things that we need to change. There are reasons why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. We need to understand these things and speak out against them. But, you know, I have an article in the paper that I brought from yesterday, and there is some guy that killed people, police officers in a bus station just because he hates police. And I think that that's the wrong message. We are all brothers. And you know, I brought this one thing here. This is, I like quotes, and this is Upton Sinclair. He was known as a muckraker who exposed the Chicago stockyards scandal of how he killed and slaughtered animals and the conditions there. And he did a lot of other things. But he says, "It is difficult to get a man to understand something when his job depends on not understanding it." Now, there are a lot of decent people that are serving our community and our nation in many capacities. A lot of them are police officers that are dedicated to helping people. And I know so many good police officers, if you just get to know them. This is what I'm trying to get at here today. We have to have dialogue, and we have to be willing to mutually understand each other, or we won't get anywhere. And a lot of these people who, you know, I'm a believer that our economy is not going to get better before it gets worse. That makes it all the more important that people work together and fight in their own community. I watched a preview of a movie, Barbershop, The Final Cut, and they're talking about crime in their neighborhood and how they're going to organize and go out, and I'm all for that. People need to take to the streets, and if you see a young man committing an error, you don't take him to jail and beat him up. You straighten him out and tell him where his mistake was.
Okay.
That's how the elders of the community have to help young people, not incarcerate them. I understand all the statistics, and I understand that there's one thing in this world that conquers all, that's love. Love of your fellow man. And as I look out at you, I hope you look back at me and see the love I have for all of you. That is the only solution. So if we're going to fight for change, it has to be peaceful, nonviolent. We can have civic action. We can stand there and protest and understand that there will be things coming at us. But it's only love and understanding that'll ever change minds. And that's what I want you all to understand. And if I'm elected mayor, I'm going to fight for each and every one of you to bring about that social change that is so desperately needed. So please, just consider what I'm saying, and if you want to change in leadership in this city, please come out and vote for me, and then we can start to tackle all these other tremendous problems. I'm aware of what they are and the situation we're in, but if we don't stand together in love and harmony as Americans who want to protect this great nation and change it, we're not going to have a chance. Thank you, my friends.
Please give the mayor candidate for the city of